Find a way to turn off that light. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Yeah, I turned on Facebook for today since it's been a month since I last had an actual proper episode. So I turned on Facebook to kind of just for reach purposes. That was kind of the big one. Holy crap. Rolls, thank you. uh, uh, oh man, it's the ceiling fan. This isn't the permanent setup, obviously. The biggest problem here is that I'm still in the middle of doing this room. I will show the room in a minute, just to kind of get things going. What's going on, Tim? What's going on? Happy belated birthday for sure. The strip. Actually, that is arcade carpet. That is a big hunk of 90s neon carpet that needs to be put down, but I haven't had a chance to. So, you know, it's should have gone down first, but boxes came in first, and so now I'm kind of playing the back and forth game here for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the room, talk about this move, talk about the future of the show. I mentioned it last time, and I think it's more definitive now. Um, yeah, it's been a while. We are out of the old house. The old house is still there. I have paid a rent on it one more month. It's a long story. I don't even want to get into it. But it is there. The light will be cut off this Friday. Water should have been already cut off. All that's left is some knickknacks and some things in the living room, and a couple of little things in the garage. The house is sweltering and hot, and who knows what else. So it's you know it's hard. It's hard. Dan, welcome. Hey, what's going on? I mean, I'm gonna grab some in a second. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. We're gonna talk a little bit about this show, man. Yeah, oh man, Dan, it's the worst, man. It's the little shits. It's the little things, the things that you can't fit in a box. The things that you like. Eventually, you're just making these like boxes full of like nonsense. Like they're just things that really don't go with anything. But if you throw them away, you're gonna be so mad that you do. Um, and that's what's left. That's really what's left. Or you left power cords or something from something that you unplugged and you didn't pack, so the thing is plugged is packed into one box, and now you've got a power supply or a cord or some piece of the thing is now left on the floor in the living room that I got to throw into a box, and then I got to, at some point in time, 3 months down the road, I'll be able to reunite them. So that's kind of the situation. Um, yeah, Adam, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Yeah, the for sure the last 10% of the move is definitely harder. I'm going to try to kind of get that glare out of the thing. Let's see if I can. I have to get lowered. I have to do it this way. I'm sorry. My desk is in pieces back there. I'm gonna show a little bit about what this room looks like right now. It is an absolute mess. I have perpetual tan line now. I'm completely tanned from all the moving in the sun. It's just a mess. I'm brown as can be, just huge tan. Uh, but it's been a wild ride here in Texas. It was 106, 107 today in Mesquite. So yeah. But on the positive side, I can only imagine how much stuff you found that you thought, it should have stayed lost. It should have stayed lost. Rolls. Oh, Gina, you are absolutely right. I really should. But there's, how do I put this? Um, I have rented my entire life. I have um I have rented, lived with my folks, or lived with my in-laws my entire life. I am 42 and just bought my first house with all the room that I want. There are things that I have bought or purchased or have collected and then not been able to like either display or put up or do anything with because I didn't have the room. Tim, I am. I'll explain why in a second. But yeah, it's all sorts of like things that you put away because you really didn't have the room for. I have the room for it now. It's just a matter of once you put it all together in a big pile, it's a mess, and you're just kind of stressed out. It stresses you out. Yeah. So I get it. I have purged a ton, a ton. Don't get me wrong, Gina. I want to reemphasize the fact that I have gotten rid of a lot of things in this move, but there's also a lot of new mental things going on what I'm going to do. This it's a whole new chapter. You're right, but it's also my final chapter. I ain't moving again. This is my house till I die. I ain't moving again. It ain't happening. It just ain't happening. I would rather die like a dragon in in my cave with my hoard and my stuff than have to move again. It's just not happening. I can't do it. I don't have the will. I won't be this young again. And the amount of movement that I have done in the past like week has been so I have burned the candle at both ends. It has been absolutely crazy town. Waking up at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, and staying awake till 3 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, it is definitely my forever home. Yeah, Joe Smog. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. For sure. It is 100% my final lair. Uh, Dan, that is wonderful. I am DF Dub for the rest of my life. I can't imagine, even though I will always be Houston in my heart. I can't imagine moving anywhere else. I never want to go through the process of buying a home again. I never want to go through the misery of doing the home situation. It's just not fun, and yeah, not doing it again. Not happening. I don't want it. I don't ever want to do it again. So with that in mind, this is my permanent home for sure. I hear that. I gotta move myself. I went up in September, bought a new recliner to go in the new place. Damn it, they're finding my body on that recliner. That has yeah. Yes. There's also things that you purchased in your rental home that all of a sudden don't really fit the bill in your new home. We're kind of dealing with that with a couple of pieces of furniture that I've purchased in the past, and now they're not really fitting. But I don't want to get rid of them. But I don't have the money to replace them either. So there's a little bit of a hodgepodge for sure. Well, when I win Mega, dude, you win the Mega Friday, and you give me a little bit of that. I will move wherever you want me to move, Tim. You can be my neighbor. Hell, we'll share a media room for all I care. It's I'm all yours. Dibs on the recliner in 59 years. As long as it's a lazy boy, for sure. Guys, this is awesome. I'm so glad. So let me run these credits real quick, and then we'll talk about what's next on this show, because I want to talk a little bit about news, but also with the new house comes new changes, and also, as you noticed, we have no Pedro. Pedro is he has stated he's not returning to the show. He says he might come back to say goodbye, but I think he said he's done with the experiment. It's not like he's gonna watch this, right? He's an old man. He's an old man, and he doesn't. He yells at clouds, and I think he's just too tired and too busy, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I love him. Godspeed. He's one of my best friends, but I think he's done with the show, and the whole scenario of Pedro being part of the Mid-Geek crisis is the chapter has to close, and we're moving on without him. And I'm not done with this. I love this. I love the public. I love being able to have some sort of outlet. And I did it for me originally. I thought he wanted to come on for the ride, and he did. And I thank him so much for the many years that he was part of the show. And maybe he'll hop on occasionally, talk and give me an update or whatever. But it's really one of these things where the Wednesday nights and Tuesday nights when it was kind of the only way I really got a chance to connect with him, because it was hard to kind of, him living in New York and me moving to Texas was separation, right? I couldn't hang out with him like I used to. I mean, he used to live right down the street from me, and we'd hang out like every other day. And he's also not a very social person when it comes down to like social media, so he doesn't really talk on social media. Sending him a text message is like sending him a text message, and then I might get a message back once every a couple hours, maybe. Occasionally I'll catch him in a moment where we might have a long conversation on text, but after that it's just like I send a message and I might get a reply back before the end of the day or tomorrow or never, or I don't get a reply back at all. And that's again, that's not a not a slight to him. I love him to death so much, but I think him and me are very different people when it comes down to like media and communication and just in general social aspect. I am an introvert in a very much, but this is my extrovert outlet, and it's hard for me to kind of pick up the phone and make a phone call. But turning on the camera after 3 years of doing this makes me happy. So I'm gonna stop doing this, and there are more things to do. And I'm gonna show you all of these dang projects that have been hidden in my garage for years that are gonna live in this room. So let me roll these credits real quick, and we will. No, you know, man, I thought I did. I look. Here's the. So it has a filter now. So here's touch up my appearance is what it's called on StreamYard. So I turn that on. That turns on a smoothing filter, which I do not like. And if I turn that off, that's me. So, thanks. I guess I don't. That's all me, man. All right, let me roll these credits, and we will go. Let's kick the show off. 215, right? No, 216, episode 216. This is the actual episode 216, folks. Let's go. Hey everyone, again, welcome to the Mid-Geek Crisis, episode 216. First official solo. I have flown solo for a few months now. Pedro has been MIA. He said that he needed a time off for the show, and he said come back in August, and I messaged him recently, and he said he was done. And that's okay. I always told him that he would always have a way out. He never really had any commitment to this. He didn't owe anybody or owe me anything on doing this show on a weekly basis. And when he felt like he would be done, he could be done. No hard feelings. I love him to death. May he reach out to me occasionally when he wants to talk. But from now on, it'll be me. And I don't know if I'll bring on another host. I don't know if I have someone I trust have on a weekly basis. But yeah, that's it. I mean, please feel free to hit him up. He's still on all the channels, Cautious on Facebook. He's Cautious at Cautious on X. On X, what is it? We call it? Are we on X? I mean, what do we call it now? It's not Twitter. And he's Cautious on multiple other social media. When you send a message, just timestamp it, and you might get a reply back at some point in time in the future, for sure. But let's not talk about that. I love him to death, and I can move on. I haven't. It's time to talk about me and my show and how we're going to move forward. The platform formerly known as Twitter, is that what the TikTok consensus, I think, is what everyone's calling it. Yeah, man. Tim, if you feel comfortable on camera and you want to talk movies or whatever, you can do that. If you feel like you want to put an animated avatar up and you're good to go, you can do that too. We can always have a chat about that kind of stuff. But let me give you kind of an update on what's been going on. So I mentioned in multiple episodes on this show that I was moving. The house hunt was hard. It was multiple months of stress, multiple months of chaos, with some illness of my mother at home, traveling back and forth, work, finding the home, packing, moving, etc. But it is August. It is the beginning. It's August 2nd, and I am in my house. So with that said, let me see if I can get this secondary camera set up while we're going here. But I want to kind of give you guys a small little sort of tour of what this place is going to be, or how this room is going, because it is a it's a mess, but at the same time, I feel like this could work. This is going to be cool. So let me join in on. Um, let's see here. Hold, please. Do. Not like I've got someone else to help me here or talk about it. How do we do this? I will. I'm trying to load up my camera as a secondary. Here, let's do this. Present extra camera. There we go. Let's do. Nope. Nope. That didn't do it either. That didn't do it at all. Let's put that back. How do we put that back? Where am I at? Where am I at here? Oh God. Oh God. Look at that. Look at that. Messed me up completely. Messed me up completely. Hold on, folks. Technical difficulties. Can y'all still hear me? Is audio still coming through? There we go. There we go. Hello. Woo. All right. All right. Yes. Trying to pull this up. Anyway, the point is maybe I can just do it on my laptop. I'll walk around. This is gonna be crazy. So this is my office here. It is a giant 400 square foot space, and it is full of boxes and tech and all sorts of stuff. But let's kind of do this weird pan around with this. So yes, here is the beginning of a setup. I've got two 36-inch CRTs right there. Really big boys, really big boys, really big CRTs, and very nice ones. This is got my 65-inch in here. Got a 65-inch in here. This will be just for modern gaming as well. And I've got another Sony flat XBR. Again, 36-inch. You can see how big it is just by my hand. I got big hands, and so yeah, that is a really big boy. Here is my TMNT. That it is not done, but it will be done in here. Again, that is my Neo Geo cab that is in the process of being restored, and I will be doing videos on that. I've got my two Velix over here. My Astro City is back behind this big old like piece of furniture right there, and it is hooked up, but it is a mess. I've got shelves up now. I had to put some shelves up to kind of start putting things up into play. Yeah, man, I moved those 2 Saturdays ago. I moved all of the TVs, the CRTs. I moved the CRTs, 3 CRTs, because that's 2 of the 36 inches. There is another Sony A chassis right there. That is a 36-inch Sony chassis, and I moved all of them by myself. I had some help kind of leading stuff, but outside of that, I kind of moved most of these by myself, and that was a fun ride. I moved all of these cabinets as well. The Neo Geo is definitely one of the heavier ones. That is a 4-slot Neo Geo. I've got my TMNT, which is also very freaking heavy. And way back there is my actual computer desk where I will eventually do this show from. And I've got my laser cutter right there. I've got, if I move back here, I'm going to try to, so in that space back there is a really deep walk-in closet. And there are three 3D printers back there. And yeah, it's right back in there, that little closet, that is a network closet. So I got my fiber and my Wi-Fi and my NAS running and a couple of servers. I am not off work. I started work this Monday again. I took a week off of work to kind of get this move done, and starting from Monday to Sunday, or no, I'm sorry, from Friday, the day we closed on the house, to all the way to Sunday at like 2:00 in the morning, I was on full swing moving. This entire move, boxes, office. Yes, man, I didn't even see you, man. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, man, like it was a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in this, but so let me turn on the light here. Actually, how about that? That'll make it a little better. One of the cool things about this room is that this is a let's see here. There's light. See, I've got more lights in here. It's all LED pot lights, really nice and bright. So that probably makes you look better. So I'll turn that on here. One of the cool things is this room or this office or this thing. One, that door right there, that one right there goes out to my patio. So that is an outside door. There is a lock, a smart lock. There are sensors on it. There's all sorts of stuff I had to install. I went ahead and installed the security system like before I got anything in here. I wanted to make sure that the house was, I got cameras at every corner of the house already. I've got HomeKit is up and running. I've got automation, all sorts of things going. I had to have that the moment I walked in. The fiber guy, the guy that installed my fiber, was here the day I closed on the house. I signed the paperwork for the house, and I drove right from the lawyer's office after signing to here, and the AT&T guy showed up, and he ran fiber right into that closet back there. And I've got 5 gig up, 5 gig down. So happy about that. So I've got the speed. And then I was able to convince him to give me, I sweet talked the guy, and he did two Cat 6E cable drops in my attic. He dropped them all the way to the other side of the house. No extra charge. He went up there and he ran 2 Cat 5 cables from this closet right here, from that closet right there, all the way to the other side of the house. So one of the cool things is I have my wireless router over there. Basically, I don't have wireless turned on in here. I just have the wireless router hooked up right there, and then all of its mesh points are spread around. So I do have 6G over here, Wi-Fi 6 in here, but everything else is 2.5 and 5 gigahertz all over through the house. And basically that meant that there is no loss. I'm not sharing it from here. I've got a gigabit connection all the way out to the front of the house, and then that's where the Wi-Fi starts. So that allows me to kind of spread it out better as opposed to starting here in the corner of the house. Again, like I said, this entire room is 400 square feet. Really big, a lot of space, but it is filled to the gills right now. And that's because I've got lots of stuff to unpack and put into storage and put on shelves and put into closets and put into things. But it'll eventually get there, and it's going to be, can't wait. But like I've stated before, one of the cool things about this room is, since this is also, I guess they turned this garage into like a whole apartment kind of thing. That is a bathroom. And not just a bathroom, not just a toilet. It is a full-on bathroom with a shower. So that is the cool part, is that I never have to leave this room. I know this seems weird to show this, but like that is a full-on shower in there. And it's nuts, because it means that this is my office where I work as well, or when I finish it, I will be able to work. I'll never really have to leave here. There's one more thing that I love, is this room has kind of like a buffer room between the house. So right here is another small room that's part of this. And that is where the mini fridge and bar and popcorn machine and a couple other things are going to live. It's going to be a sweet setup when I'm done with it. I'm really excited to kind of share the process. No, it's not a mud room. It is. I don't know how to describe it. We have that in the front of the house, and if you come in through the sliding door, there's space there too. But here, this entrance, this add-on is just like they just converted the garage into this extra room. So there's no real like mud room, but there is that, I think, used to be the old laundry room, but they moved the laundry room all the way to the front of the house. So I've got a laundry room up there. Here's just a small window and 4 wall plugs. And it's just a small space. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, because if this was the garage, right? If if this was the garage to like kind of come in from, I guess you would come into the garage here or park the car from straight ahead over there, and then this would be the entrance into the house. And I guess that was the old laundry room. This is kind of the best way to put it, but that's not what it is. So it's not what it is now. So there's not even any water hookups, which I wish they had left that. That way I could I could grab water to put into the coffee from there. But future things. It's funny because I've had all these ideas to kind of do things in my house, and you make what's the saying? It's like no one has a cool stuff, but you make mediocre stuff into cool stuff. And this house is already pretty cool in my eyes, but I'm going to do lots of things to it because I like projects. I kind of thrive with projects. And that leads me to the next part of this conversation, right? This show goes on live every Wednesday night. I am changing the time to 9 p.m. because it is an infinitely better time for me. It was already too late for Pedro to come on at 9 because that would have made it 10 p.m. his time. But 9 p.m. is a good sweet spot for me here in Central Standard Time. And yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm going to start turning on the camera a little more during the week. I've said that before, but now that I don't have any partner, I have to keep the content flowing. So, I mean, I'm going to start filming some stuff here. A lot more retro stuff, a lot more video game stuff, a lot more media stuff, a lot more hobby stuff. I mean, what do you want to see? I love everything. I geek out a lot more than I normally do with Pedro because Pedro really was, I don't want to say one of those individuals that he held back, but he really wasn't into, like I said, he wasn't social media. So he really wasn't listening or watching or into the next, into all of the news, into the gaming news or whatever. Most of the time I would either tell him, hey, go watch go watch this video, or hey, did you check this out? And he's like, no. And then he'd read out about it before the shows came on. And I guess I'm always on social media. I'm following a lot of the talking heads and following along in a lot of the retro scene and the modern gaming scene and movies and geeks and new trailers and all sorts of stuff. And a good example, like everyone saw the Loki 2 trailer, right? I mean, there you go, Dan. You just hit it right there. That's a good one to talk about. And again, I love Pedro. This is not a slight against him. He wouldn't have seen it. He wouldn't have been about it. I would have had to say, hey, have you seen it? And he would have been like, no. And I would have been like, can you watch it? And he might have watched it, or he might have watched it when he was live on the show with us. So again, I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to be way more geeky than I used to be. And that's hard to kind of describe, but you have to understand that, like, I am a dude that has a lot of interests, a lot more than I really like to talk about on the show, because I kept things I'm a big Apple guy. I'm a big tech guy. I'm a big retro computing guy. I love tinkering with old machines. I have multiple old computers that I've built and talked about with other people on Twitter and other communities, but I've never done it on the show. What else? I'm into crafting, right? I like working with my laser cutter. I like working with 3D printing. I mean, I have multiple 3D printers that I've never talked about. I mean, I mentioned them, but I've never shown them on the show. And they're all going to be in this room now. They're not going to be separated. And that's one of the big things, right? I had my office, my arcade, and my garage in my old place, and everything was kind of segregated. So I had to choose where I did my show and if I wanted to show anything. And that was hard. But now everything is in this room. My garage I've got a big tool shed outside now where all my woodworking tools are. But my laser cutter's in here. My 3D printers are in here. My arcade machines are in here. Same thing. My arcade machines are in here that they used to be in the arcade, and my home office is in here, right? So like my desk, my gaming setup, all that kind of stuff. And all that means that all I have to ever do is just turn the camera and we can talk about something, right? Like we could talk about comic books. We can talk about tabletop, which is something that I do like to play, but I don't get a chance to as much because I'm 42 and I have no actual friends to come over and play in physical form. But I do play online with Pedro occasionally. But that game's going to end soon, and we're going to see what happens from there on. Maybe I'll start doing a stream tabletop here. That's what I need to do. Like if I want to move forward and play some tabletop with new people, maybe I'll do an open call and invite some of you guys to hop on, and we'll do some tabletop this way and stream it, because that should be something that we need to do. Let's get you a head mounted camera and just follow you around the room POV. I have something like that and I can do it, but you would throw up the amount of movement. Truth be told, I'm kind of a geek when it comes to laser cutters. 3D. Would love to. Oh yeah, man, absolutely. We can talk about it. I posted about it on Twitter a few weeks ago during Prime Day. I picked up this really cool piece of tech. It's called the Creality Solo Pad, and that is a really cool device, and I want to talk about it at some point in time. It was this bad boy right here. This is the box actually. It's the Creality Sonic Pad. Sorry, Sonic Pad, and this thing is really cool, man. It's a game changer for 3D printing. I think, for at least if you've got a lot of printers. What this thing is like it replaces the brain on a lot of your 3D printers. It basically turns a lot of so every 3D printer, especially you buy a lot of cheaper ones like Creality Ender 3s and whatnot, $99 printers and $150 printers and $300 printers, you don't get high advanced features until you go into the 600 range, right? And what this Creality device does, it's like a tablet with a really higher end CPU, and this replaces all of the internal boards on all their printers, and essentially this controls them all, and it adds all sorts of new features. And I got this, and you can hook up multiple printers to it, so this one thing controls all of my printers, and it does an amazing job. I did some test prints before I moved out of the house, and let me tell you, it's fantastic. I'll talk about that, and I'll show this soon. I'll be showing it up when I rehook it back up. I've got the 3D printers in there, but I don't have this hooked up again yet, so I will. Is there a nerdy version of Jackbox? There is all sorts of nerdy versions of Jackbox, so that could always be something to play as well on stream for sure. Man, I remember the first time I saw a 3D printer was at a company I was working for around 10 years ago. I was sold since that time. Yeah, man, so a lot of the early 3D printers all used the $10,000 ones weren't FDM printers. They weren't, and FDM printers like filament, so they're not like a spool of filament that kind of goes around. A lot of those $10,000 are like resin impregnated like powder. They're like really powdery, so it was like it would kind of print inside of a powder, and then you'd pull it out, and you'd have this like piece of kind of soft, kind of hard, gritty 3D printed thing, and it looked really cool, and it was very high detail. But those things were like 10, 20 grand, depending. You can get ones that did color too, so it would print color powder, color thing, and you could get all sorts of things. Anywho, my point is yeah. Can you split one job? Well, it really depends, right? So if you have let's say, for example, you're being geeky and you wanted to print out, let's say, an Iron Man helmet, right? So if you've got multiple printers, you can totally do that. You can send 3 different jobs to that particular printer. You can send maybe the faceplate to one, and part of the helmet to the other, and part of the other helmet to the other, and have them all running at the same time, and speed up your print. Of course, that requires more printers. You don't need to have more than one printer. The pad kind of gives you the ability to control all 3 and monitor all 3. It gives you Wi-Fi. You can connect a camera to it. There's already devices and free things that you can use. Something called like Octoprint, which you can use like a Raspberry Pi and do all of this, but you can't do what this does. This is running a firmware called Clipper, which is a little more advanced, has different instructions, geekier stuff. But the point is it is a night and day difference, in my opinion, from the brain of some of these cheaper printers. It turns some of these cheaper printers into some high end printers for sure. But yeah, I mean, like I stated, there's all sorts of things that I want to talk about in this channel, and we're gonna move forward doing that. But I moved in, guys, and that's exciting. Uh, but let's talk a little bit about what I've missed. They have a headless Pikachu thanks to yeah. So you probably had Pikachu up to about here, and then all of this was just spaghetti, right? It just turned into spaghetti, and that happens. I have a few prints that I've kept like that. That printed the bottom really cool, and then the very top is just like completely messed up. But yeah, I want to watch this Loki trailer because I honestly I can't even remember Loki. It's been so long since I watched it. Let's take a look here. Loki season 2 trailer. Let's pull that up. Man, how come when I type in Loki season 2, the first link isn't a Disney link? It's like everything but that. The first link is like Rotten Tomatoes and kinocheck.com. Like, why is it not Marvel Studios Loki? It's like 4 down is the Marvel link. Let's pull this up here. And be told 3 printer I use in my library. Also hate to say till cheap on mind breakdown about. Yeah, I mean, Rose, I don't know if you've got like a micro center anywhere near you. I think there's some in the Midwest and out in Ohio and St. Louis and all that kind of. I think there's some out there, or they're starting to open up more. But they have a deal where if you don't have a micro center account, and what that means is like a savings account or whatever. Yeah, okay. So if you don't have like a phone number account or whatever, or if you do, open up another email address and you go there and they give you there's a free coupon on their website, and essentially you can buy an Ender 3, which is a Creality Ender 3, which is 250 millimeter by 250 millimeter bed, big enough for most things, for $99. That's the cheapest printer you can get, and that's because they get them really cheap from Creality as one of their resellers, and it's an incentive to go and buy one. So they also sell filament there and all of that, but you can pick up one of those Ender 3s for $99 as a first time account opener of some sort. Even though you might already have one or might have shopped there before, just give them a whole new number and email address, and that'll allow you to get it for $99. But yeah, I mean it's $99, but I mean it all adds up, right? Like an Ender 3 is an Ender 3, and then as you start learning it, the add-ons add on, right? Now, a $100 printer is what you get. You're going to get a $100 printer. That doesn't mean that it's a bad printer. It will print out a lot of stuff. It requires a little more fiddly work, but I think it's the best bang for your buck. And also, it's almost like starting with a starter car, enough that you can really sit down and learn the ins and outs of 3D printing. You know how to work a slicer on software. You know how to level your bed without any automation. You learn how to tighten the belts. You learn how to do all of this. And once you know all of that, when you move up to more expensive printers, you know how to maintain those easier, right? Because you know what could be the cause. You know, oh, why is there little dots of filament all over my print? Oh, that's under extrusion or over extrusion. You know, there's all sorts of little things and terms that you learn when you use a lower end, more manual 3D printer. And as you move up in printer, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. A lot of people want to spend the money, and they spend the $600 on a printer, you know, $600-700. And sure, a lot of them are click and go, but you'd be surprised how many of those like expensive printers get thrown up on marketplaces for half the price because they're like, this broke and I don't know how to fix it, and I'm just selling it because I don't know how to fix it. And then you're like, see, if you had just maybe like learned the hobby a little bit, that's fine. That's like if you go buy a Mercedes and all of a sudden your like radio dial breaks, and now you can't turn up the radio or whatever. They just sell the car at 50% off because they don't want to fix it. And a lot of them don't go talk to their warranty, and you know, there's just all sorts of like weird analogies about that. But my point is Sometimes starting low, learning the basics means that when you move up to a higher end printer, you know how to actually maintain it and you know how to use it better. So yeah, $900 will get you the 3D printer at Micro Center. Go pick one up for sure. Let's watch this trailer because I watched it with the volume down in the middle of work, and I kind of want to watch it now. So let's do this. How do I do this now? Because I don't have my second monitor up here. Let's see here. Share screen. There we go. Boom. I will share a Chrome tab. Look at that. I can do it. I can do this. Can I go full screen? Does it let you go full screen with? Oh, I guess you can.
Hobie? Hello? We have a little bit of a situation we wanted to run by you.
Mobius! Wow! Great to see you again.
That's what's been happening.
Wow. Time slipping.
What?
Times, you know that?
Yeah.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
Can you fix that?
No. It's impossible to time slip in the TVA.
I know, but we just saw it happen.
Yeah.
I've been pulled through time between the past and the present.
Hello?
If what I saw is true, there's nothing that stands between this world and utter destruction.
Only one way to find out. A little good old-fashioned legwork. Listen, we have different styles. You're a man of action, which is fine. I take a more slow, deliberate, cerebral approach. It's really goodbye.
It's up to us to save this place.
Is this cracked?
You're good.
Whatever we do, we're playing God.
We are gods. But how do you choose who lives and who dies?
Make the hard choice.
It's him.
You better run!
War is on its way. Come on, you're the god of mischief.
Always have been. Always will be.
A little over the top, don't you think?
I thought it was spot on.
October 6th, huh? Okay. All right. That's 2 months from now, man. That's a little far. It's a little far. You can't be showing me that. Did anyone watch Secret Invasion? Did anyone in chat watch that? Like, I feel like no one talked about it. Did anyone watch it? Was it, Dan? Like, you know, I am not a doomsayer when it comes down to Disney. They really know how to fix things, but man, what are they doing with Marvel right now? Like, what is going on? Have they really lowered the budget so bad with spread it so thin that they couldn't do this right? Yeah, they finished before the strike for sure. That'd been done. That'd been in the cans for years. They, things like that have been done and in post production for years. But I don't know. I mean, Loki's done. It's sitting there, but it's hard with the strike going on because you can't get the artists to go out and promote it. So it's hard. I don't know what's I don't know. It had a few moments, but after it was done, it just didn't seem like much. So right, like this was so I thought Secret Invasion was supposed to be kind of like a big deal, like the start of a big change in the Marvel universe. And I don't want to talk about the spoilers because of course I read the spoilers because someone spoiled it because I had no idea it was over. And all of a sudden it's over, right? Like it's done. And I found like one of the big spoiler who was what and who wasn't who they were, and one of the characters that we all know and love was not really him. And so I don't want to spoil anything for anybody in chat, but I mean, what are the repercussions? I mean, for anyone who wants to spoil it in chat, by all means, or you want to talk about it, please do so. It doesn't hurt my feelings. You know, I don't care about spoilers for this show because it just seems like it was a show of nonsense. Like nothing of value came of it, from my understanding. Or did it? Am I missing something? Is something important from this show going to affect the rest of the Marvel universe, the Marvel and the movie universe, whatever? I was talking to a buddy. Secret Invasion of the Comics was a huge. It was like Secret Wars, Infinity Wars. It just, but so they watered it down, right? They took a major event that was a huge thing in the comics and they turned it into a non-event, but it was supposed to be a big event. Like that's the moment where you either bring back characters or you kill off a character or you change things. And I don't know. This is Peace talks about the real thing that came out of it. Wait, who's Peace? Peace talks was about the Peace talked like there were talks about peace against what? Was there a war going on? What war? Like I'm confused. I'm so confused. Like what's the last movie I remember? Like I didn't watch Ant-Man, right? So like I haven't watched Ant-Man. I haven't watched, man, see, that's just shows I have been so busy this year that I didn't watch Black Panther. I didn't watch Ant-Man Quantumania. Hell, I didn't watch, I haven't seen Doctor Strange. I didn't see Doctor Strange 2. It's just none of the Marvel movies have caught my I haven't seen Guardians 3. So that's 4 Marvel movies that I haven't even sat down and watched. And it's just because none of them have really caught my, like, I've always been excited. I've always been super excited for these movies, but something about the way that the Marvel universe is there doesn't seem to be any real consequence going on. And now that we know that Jonathan Majors might be recast, right? Like he's not even going to be, I don't even know what his name is anymore. Like just in general, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on anymore. What movie takes, like, what's the storyline right now? Do we even have one? Is there something going on? Kang, there you go. Kang the Conqueror. Is there something going on in the Marvel universe that I missed? Like, what's the big, like, I knew that Thanos was happening. We all knew Thanos was happening. And so we had multiple waves of Marvel kind of leading up to that. The introduction of like Captain America and Loki was a villain in some of the movies, and we had all of this progression that felt natural. But now I don't know where we're at. I'm excited for the Marvels coming up soon. So like Miss Marvel and all of that looks really fun. The last show I watched She-Hulk and I watched I don't think I finished Miss Marvel actually. And that's just because I was busy. But Kang was supposed to be the big story, right? So Kang is the big story along the multiverse, right? Mattel is the new hotness in 2023. Oh yeah, with Barbie, right? That's a big one. Yeah. Apparently, you're not the only one. A lot of the fans are questioning Marvel like they lost their. Yeah, and I don't. I hate that kind of like talk because that's the kind of talk that just causes like so. All right. So real talk, real quick. In geekdom, when any type of like YouTuber or pundit or any type of like social media person, as soon as that like trend starts, it builds a wave, and then that just becomes the natural consensus, right? My youngest kid watches way too much YouTube, and I'm trying desperately to get him away from it, and it's been hard. This summer with the move and everything else, it's just been hard. But he watches so many things, and sometimes he'll sit down at the table and we're talking at dinner, and he'll voice an opinion, and I can hear the tone or the opinion coming out of his mouth that doesn't belong to him. It's not his opinion. It's what he's been told, or the popular YouTube personality, short, TikTok, whatever, said that's their opinion, and they take it and run with it. and that's been hard. So like sometimes he'll say something and I'm like, kiddo, you haven't seen that, or kiddo, you don't know what you're talking about. You haven't played that game. He's like, well, they said it sucked. And I'm like, well, who's they? Well, it sucks. It should have been better. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You haven't watched it. You haven't formed your own opinion yet. And review bombs are a huge thing, right? So yeah, review bombs are. Yeah, man, that was it. Dan, you're absolutely right there. Like we don't even give movies a chance because the social media wave is so strong right now with TikTok and YouTube and Twitter and all of these forms of media that we no longer give a crap about our own opinion. We follow the wave, we follow the memes, we follow the trends, we do the TikTok thing, and then people don't go see a movie because they've already heard someone say that it sucked or that it's already a big joke or whatever. Barbie kind of did it right because they really embraced the campiness of it all, and their like social media wave was just a big deal. And the contrast of them with Oppenheimer was kind of a big deal as well, which kind of created this Barbie Oppenheimer thing, which made Barbie make a lot of money. But honestly, Barbie had no right to be as good as it was. I'm not to say anything against the director. I'm sure it's a fantastic movie. It's just it was a movie that really wasn't destined to be as big as it was, and it did. Barbie's a big deal. She's a big character. She is the G.I. Joe, the Transformer, the big thing for many individuals, and that's okay. That's okay. There should have been a Barbie movie years ago. I mean, we had cartoon Barbie movies, but this live action one seems fun, and I think the director, man, I know her name, and again, I don't have the show notes in front of me or anything to kind of tell me. She really took the camp and the idea of Barbie and really ran with it in a very different way. And from what I've read, it worked. So good for her, good for them, good for Margot Robbie, good for everyone involved in that movie because it looks like a fun ride. And I'm excited to go see that movie, but I haven't gone to see it because it came out right in the middle of the move. I saw a meme, grain of salt, that Mario costume. I sure, of course it did, but it's going to make all that money back. It's making money. It is the movie people are going to go see right now. There isn't anything else that I can think of. So cool, good, because Barbie is one of those things where like if it's not like a guy flick, right, or a guy toy or a Transformers or whatever, it doesn't make the millions and millions of dollars. But Barbie was able to get this appeal with men and women. Like you had like whole groups of guys dressing up as like Ken to go see this movie because social media really pushed that like agenda. So that was a really cool use of social media to not bomb a movie, but to kind of like really embrace the campiness and have all the dudes show up in like pink polo shirts and like pants and rollerblades and really pull off the like Ken look to go see Barbie with all your bros, which is really cool because it's a movie that totally shouldn't have appealed for that. Like, could you imagine in the 80s? Like, I don't think a bunch of guys were going to see the Care Bear movie or whatever, right? It was, or even the animated Barbie movie. This was just the way that they marketed, allowed it to kind of cross genders, sex, masculinity, femininity, all of it all together without it being a thing. They didn't make it a thing. And I think that's cool. So I'm excited to go see it. I would go see it with anybody who said, hey, let's go see Barbie. I'd be like, let's go. Come on, Barbie. Let's go party. I'd be for it. She's fun. And those of you who grew up in broke conservatives, she and Legos were some of them. Yeah, right. So like what's the next toy that doesn't have a movie, right? So My Little Ponies had all sorts of cartoons and whatever. And it's had it had a movie, but we've had Barbie, Lego, G.I. Joe and He-Man and all those. They've had either live action or they've had animated. Transformers has had live action and animated. I can't think of many major toys that haven't had a movie at this point. I'm not talking like things like Slinky, right? Like a Slinky could probably, they do it. They would do it. But yeah, I think I don't know. We're scraping the barrel of nostalgia here, but oh god, the Emoji Movie. But that was so bad. Like that was a movie. I don't know. That was a weird movie. Weird movie. Any case, what else? I would watch this. I would watch this. I would only watch a Mask movie if they make sure they do not replace the car, and it is a 1980s third gen Camaro with gull wings that flies around. If they don't do that, then I don't want it. Right? We haven't had Monopoly, but those are board games. We've had those for years, right? We had Clue. We had movie. Remember that? That was a bad movie. Uh, oh man. Yeah, but no, but seriously though, Mask movie would be cool. Would be totally cool. There's some new Mask toys, really expensive versions of these toys, but there's whole new Mask toys that are out right now. But Adam, Clue bombed at the theater, by the way. If you don't remember it, well, I mean, you probably don't remember that. No, most people don't. But Clue is loved because it's a cult classic, but it bombed at the movies. Like it did bad at the movies. And yeah, it just, again, that's why we didn't run with that idea anymore, because it didn't do very well for studios. It did well later when it went to home video. So what else is new? What else have I missed? Because this is a hard show to kind of do right now, because I really haven't been following along. I've been so busy with this move. But what am I missing here? Did anything else? Anybody watch anything? Any play anything? Did anyone watch Oppenheimer? I haven't seen it. I don't. I don't. Everyone's talking about it like it's the greatest movie ever made, and I don't. Maybe I just don't have the connection to Oppenheimer and what it is. Oh man, Dan, I am not even close to beating that. I'm about 200 hours in, but I'm just playing it to enjoy it. And I actually haven't played it in about 2 weeks because I've been so busy. What else? Season 2 Foundation on TV. I don't know, man. I don't think I saw season 1. We did Oppenheimer. We did Barbie. I like Oppenheimer. Saw it, but really like Barbie a lot. Excellent. Oppenheimer. I don't know. I've never been. I don't know. Maybe I'd like it. I just it's a weird thing to kind of glorify. I don't know what it is. It's not saying. I don't know how I feel about the movie. I just don't. I'm indifferent about war movies and like weird historical movies like this. It's hard for me to kind of feel any type of emotion for something like that. Not that I don't know. Righteous Gemstone was wrapped up. Yeah, I heard it. I heard they just renewed it for a 4th season. My wife is big into that. She's watched all of it. She hasn't watched the newest season, and we haven't been, again, with the move and all of that. It's been weeks and weeks and weeks since we sat down. We want to sit down and watch the new season of What We Do in the Shadows, and we haven't had a chance to do that. Asteroid City, right? That's the what movie? Who's the director for that? Is that the Anderson movie? The Wes Anderson movie? Again, I've been so out of this entire summer's a blur. From March onward, I feel like I haven't watched or done anything outside of Street Fighter 6 and Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't really played or done much more because I've been so busy dealing with this move. So I'm going to catch up. I'm going to catch up to all of this, and I've got tons of projects and games and stream night because my arcade is going to be in here. I got to put some paint on these walls. They're white, and I want some color in here. Some more neon lights. So got to do more of that. That's what's going to happen in this room. What else? Following this whole like Twitter debacle, is everyone moved over to Threads yet? Has people moved over to Threads? Because I like Threads, but people don't talk on Threads, and it makes me upset that people don't talk on Threads. I go on there and I post stuff and no one talks back, and it's sad because I feel like I think it's a better app than it's a better app than X because there's no ads yet. I like that. I know it's weird to think about a Mark Zuckerberg network being this good, but it's actually really nice being to go on there and not every 3 posts there's a ad for some sort of like crypto mining currency or whatever. But yeah, I gave up trying to explain Mastodon and Norm. Yeah, Mastodon is hard. Like it's I barely know what Threads is. Yes, Dan, it is Twitter for Instagram. If you have an Instagram account, you can just go to Twitter. You can go to Threads and open it up, and it's nice, man. It's really nice. It's still missing some of the aggregation features, right? Like what it is it doesn't have hashtags yet, and right now it's hard to kind of find your community because it keeps wanting to suggest like the popular Instagram folk. But the more you use it, the more it starts learning just a little bit, but it's still not there yet. It's still hard to find the people you want to talk to, but the interface is clean. You can have more pictures. You can have 10 pictures per post. There's a less limit on text. I haven't found the limit. I've been able to type out all the paragraphs that I want and kind of go. So I don't know what the limit is on Threads, but I haven't hit it. It hasn't told me I've gone too far. It doesn't have an edit button though, and that annoys me. But they said they're going to add one, which is cool. Yeah, Dan, it's bad. Twitter is real bad. Or X. I'm going to keep calling it Twitter. If I open up Twitter right now, and I kind of go through the process of looking, if I scroll down, look who to follow right in the middle of my thread. I don't want that. And oh look, here's a sponsored ad now, and more stuff. Oh, now here's a Manscaped ad right there in the middle that I am not following them at all. It says ad now. It doesn't say sponsor. Now they changed it to ad right there. I scroll 1, 2, 3, 4. There's an Amazon ad. Four posts down. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, ad for Doritos and Baksu Market. 1, 2, 3, 4. Visit San Antonio. So every 4 posts, there's an ad now. And what's even worse that I have found is when I go into a thread, right? So let's say I go into a popular thread. So here's a post that someone posted about, 34 years ago, Dragon Warrior was posted. Okay, that's something that I like. I'm gonna go into this conversation. In this conversation here, 1, 2, 3. Oh, look, the 4th post in the middle of a thread is an ad. So it completely breaks the like conversation. Oh, look, Statistical Horizons ad. Just nonsense. I can't, it's so annoying. Yeah, it totally will be. It's real bad. Oh, you're talking about Facebook. Well, I mean, that's weird. Facebook's ads they don't bother me that much. I don't know why they don't bother me as much. Maybe it's just because the algorithm on Facebook really is following what I follow. None of this stuff on Twitter is stuff that I even click on. Like, what statistical nonsense? Like, what is that? What was that? Like, I don't even know what that is. I've never clicked on anything. I hide all the crypto ads. So I don't understand. Like, Elon is like hitting me with stuff that I don't want ads. At least Facebook, occasionally I get ads for t-shirts and geek stuff. And occasionally I end up clicking. Like, for example, I followed a Kickstarter recently because there's a Kickstarter that an ad for a Kickstarter showed up about a modular tabletop thing, right? It's if you have a table, they are selling a Kickstarter. I think it ends today. It is a 3D printed like modular system where they're basically buying all the STL files, and you can essentially make a full like border. You 3D print an entire border for your table with things for hold cards and cup holders and all this kind of stuff. And it's meant to turn any table into a tabletop table, which is really cool. And it was like $40, but I found it because the algorithm of Facebook actually gave me an ad about something I wanted to see. So, Adam, you're right. No one wants to advertise on Twitter because it's crap. So you're probably right. That's probably why the ads are crap. I don't get ads on any social media. I kid you not. For about 2 months, I was getting ads for boys ranch somewhere down in Arizona. Like, how do I even get on that? You might not be noticing them, man. But if you open up Twitter, like I don't know if you use Twitter, but if you open up Twitter, I guarantee you it's every 4 ads. I've just gotten really weird ads the last week or so, and I usually hide, but it's just not. I think the only way to make it learn is to actually click on 1 or 2 of those ads. If you see something you like, just click on it once. And I know that the ad is annoying, but at least you'll get the same ad over and over again. And it knows now that you like that thing. That's the only way that I've been able to kind of make things manageable on Facebook. Like I said, I'll get ads for like geek t-shirts and crafts. And I mean, man, like I'm trying to figure out here, like if I go to Facebook right now, let's see here. Hey, look, I got an ad for a free dog bed for BarkBox. Of course, it's an ad and I'm never going to click on it, but it knows I have dogs and I've clicked on dog stuff before. So it's an ad that I want. Oh, here it is. Game Frame is what it's called. And that is the thing that I kickstarted, and final hours on Kickstarter. And it's really cool. And it was something that I liked. And so that was an ad, but I clicked on it. And so at least it's things that I enjoy. Hey, look, a 3D printer ad. That's cool. It's an ad, but at least it's an ad of something I like. That's all I'm saying. It's like the ads are annoying, but hey, look, here's an Astros Fanatics ad sponsor for fanwear and stuff because I'm a Houston Astros fan. Like that's the kind of stuff that at least it's algorithmically pointed towards me. I can't fight it. I can't hide them on my phone, but at least it's something that I like. Twitter is just garbage. So I'm sorry. Where how's your team doing, buddy? You still in the running, sir? Just yeah, okay. I had Pi-hole for about a week and a block. Yeah, so with Pi-hole, it's great. I love it. I had it working for a while. But with Pi-hole, the problem is you have to update all the gravity server stuff manually. Like it doesn't grab all that stuff. It was just a pain to maintain, and eventually it started blocking stuff. You have to like really teach it what not to block and what to like whitelist. So you have to go and find all these like whitelists and blacklists and all that kind of stuff. Yes, I did. Adam, it was causing more trouble to maintain than it was worth. Can we go back to Twitter now? Yes, sir. We can. X. We call it X because Elon put a giant glowing X on the top of his on top of the Twitter headquarters in San Francisco, and the city made him take it down because it was causing all sorts of havoc. So yeah, social media is still there, man. So I would suggest go jump on Thread. I'm on there. The Mid-Geek Crisis is on there, and it is a nice, smooth, clean interface. I like it, man. Go check it out. Man, I can't believe that he renamed Twitter to X to something that he doesn't own. He can't physically use it. I don't know why Meta hasn't made him like a cease and desist, but Meta owns X. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't care. I want to stop using it. I really do. But there are a lot of people that I follow that still use it there. And it sucks. I hate it. I hate it. Yeah. It's tough to get dumped by that dude is trash. Elon Musk is such an idiot. I really can't. I can't even. Folks, it's an hour in. Thank you so much for joining me on this return to form. I will be further along in this room and space next week. I will be doing maybe shorts, TikTok, some sort of like small video form content to kind of do some small updates. I think it's faster for me to be able to like shoot a quick video and kind of do that. But I will be back. Rolls, don't leave me. Guys, I love you. I am not going anywhere. This is fun for me. This is fun for multiple reasons. It is an outlet for me, and it is a way for me to talk to other people that I enjoy talking to. And I enjoy talking to every one of you. Dan, I've missed you. Adam, I've missed you. Rolls, I've missed you. Tim, Sis, I've missed you. I've missed all of you guys. Hop into chat. Hop in. I'm going to be pushing the channel a little bit more as soon as this progress of moving in and fixing this room needs to be documented more. And I will be showing you guys more along the way. This room is going to be fun. And I can't wait to kind of share this progress. This is my home, and I get to kind of build my castle the way I want it to be. It's exciting. It's exciting for sure. Follow along, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. Like, subscribe. Go ahead and get a thumbs up for me on the YouTube version of this channel. Go do something on one of the other social media outlets here. I need to add the thread link to the midgeekcrisis.com. I really like threads, guys. It is easier to talk to than Twitter. I can add more pictures. I can do video and pictures. It's just a better interface than Twitter was. I don't understand how a multi-billionaire buys it and ruins it. It like literally ruins it. So I digress. Folks, thank you so much for joining me on a Wednesday night later. I'll be back next week on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central Time, the best time. Thank you, everyone. Like, subscribe. Another episode in the can. Be kind. Now I get to say it. Bye, everyone.